1 Thessalonians 5:18 says, "In everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you." On the surface, 1 Thessalonians 5:18 seems pretty general, a verse that is easy to breeze over even. But when you dive a little deeper than the surface, you start to understand how revolutionary this verse can be. Notice how this verse is a command and not a recommendation. It's something that God commands for us to do. We need to be a people who are thankful in all circumstances, no matter what those circumstances might be. Can I tell you today that every moment of life has something that we can be thankful for? I cannot even think about 1 Thessalonians 5:18 without thinking about the very first Thanksgiving. Thinking about those pilgrims who faced so much adversity and so much difficulty. And thinking about that meal that they came together for. That meal that we've continued to celebrate even today. It's said that that same year as the first Thanksgiving, 7 times more graves were dug than homes built. It's said that a ship was supposed to come in with seeds and livestock and people to help with the work and to repopulate. And when that ship arrived, the livestock were either dead or eaten. The people were either sick or they were dead themselves. And yet, those pilgrims, they gave thanks. The situations were difficult. There was plenty of adversity, and yet the pilgrims gave thanks. And so the question is this today: what are you thankful for? Are you thankful for the blood that pumps through your veins? Are you thankful for the breath in your lungs? Those you love, a roof over your head? I hope you can say today that you're thankful for your salvation. Trust me, today there is something that you can be thankful for. The unfortunate reality, though, is that the flesh loves to focus on the negatives, on what we don't have and how bad we perceive things to be. If you're a Christian today, strive to rest in the fact that you have something so great and so amazing that it supersedes all of the negatives that this world can throw at you. You have salvation. Salvation offers peace, hope, and joy. Cling to your salvation and the fact that your salvation is by grace. You don't deserve it, but a loving God has made it available to you. Think about how giving thanks in all things can change your life. Think about that. You wake up each and every morning, and before you go and you dread going to work that day, or before you think about how you have to deal with the kids that day, or before you do anything, before you think about the turbulence of the world around you, you take a moment, you take a breather, and you think about all the things that you're thankful for. Think about how that can change your life today. Think about how that would change your demeanor today. Think about how that would put you in a different place today. I've heard of people who have had thankfulness journals. This is not a sales ploy. I have no journal to sell you. You can get a cheap, rundown notebook, something you can write on. And each and every morning, wake up and write 3 things you're thankful for. 3 things that you are thankful for in your life. And do that each and every day. And before you know it, when those bad days come, when you're having a woe is me kind of day, when you're being a negative Nancy, you can look back on those things that you were thankful for in the past, and you can realize that you are not a person who is down and out. You are not a person who has nothing but problems and trouble. You are a person who is blessed. You are a person who has so much to be thankful for. Leprosy is a horrible disease that causes sores and intense nerve damage. Oftentimes, people will lose their digits, they will lose their nose, different pieces of their body because they will damage those pieces of their body and not even feel it. I heard about a missionary who went to a leper colony, and he was having a service there for these leprous people, these people who were suffering from this horrible, terrible disease. And he had a portion of the service where people could have song recommendations. They could have things that they were asking for, things that they would like to hear sung. And so he called out to this crowd of lepers, and there was a woman who wasn't looking at him when she raised her hand. But he said that when that woman turned around and he saw her face, he realized that her ears were eaten away, that she had no nose. When he looked at that hand, he realized that she had no fingers on that hand. She was a mess. She looked terrible. But that missionary said that he was broken down to tears as he listened to the words out of that woman's mouth as she asked for the song, "Count Your Many Blessings." In the terrible situation she was in, she understood that she had blessings in her life. She understood that she had things that she could be thankful for. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, determined to be thankful today. Determined to not harp on the negative, but to keep your eyes on the many blessings of your life.